The DA will launch its manifesto this weekend. Ahead of that, the party is bringing out its big guns to woo voters. The Federal Council chairperson, that is Helen Zille, Chief Whip Natasha Mazzone, and mayoral candidate for Cape Town, Geordin Hill-Lewis, are leading the campaign. For more on that, I'm joined by ENCA's Lindsay Dentlinger to bring us an update. So, Lindsay, naturally, I see that you've got Helen Zille there speaking to you. Take it away, Lindsay.
That we make of it is that there are rules for all parties, and then there's a different set of rules for the ANC. And we don't think that's right. And the voters of Mitchell's Plain and the voters of the Western Cape have rejected double standards a long time ago. That is why they made the Western Cape blue. That is why they've made Cape Town blue, because we say we reject the fact that some parties are favoured over other parties. We want one set of rules for everybody, and we reject double standards. And the DA, as the blue party, is the party that stands up for fairness for everyone and not some people being favoured over others because they have connections in high places.
Do you think that your allegations somehow cast some form of distrust with regards to the Constitutional Court and how people should then view it going forward?
Not at all. Not at all. The questions shouldn't be asked to me. The question should be asked to the ANC as to why, having taken a case to the Electoral Court that was unwinnable on the basis of past precedent, did they suddenly withdraw it without giving any reasons at all, and then everything step by step went their way to give them the second chance that no other parties before have been given when they missed a deadline.
Do you perhaps have an idea why you think they withdrew last minute?
Well, I've said that already, and that's not the issue here today. I don't really want to repeat myself 4, 5, 6 times. I've been on Newsroom Africa to explain this. I don't need to do it 5 times. I've just given you an answer now. Today we're in Mitchell's Plain saying we stand up for fairness, we stand up for integrity and honesty, we stand against state capture and the attempts by the ANC to capture the IEC and through the Judicial Services Commission, the judiciary as well. We reject that. The voters of Cape Town reject that, and that is why the Western Cape is blue.
My last question to you, really, before I give my colleagues a chance. You were once upon a time leading this particular province as the Premier, and you're back on the streets again. Do you see any improvements, especially as we lead up to the launch of the DA's manifesto on Saturday?
Well, if you look around here in Mitchell's Plain, most people have all the basic services they require. When I was walking around here, the streets are clean and decent. There are no big dongers for potholes. And you must understand that maintaining a place where people have water, electricity, refuse removal, sewerage, that has to be done by the municipality. And all the basic services are here, maintained and delivered. And that is DA delivery. If you went to any other equivalent place in other provinces in South Africa, it wouldn't look like this.
Helen, it's quite obvious the Good Party right behind you also looking to campaign in these streets. They come with a leader who was also just as popular as you were. Yeah, are you concerned that they could take votes from you in these wards?
We believe in democracy. We believe that everybody has a right to campaign. We will protect that right to campaign, and the DA is the only party that protects everybody's rights.
Helen, you were pointing out that the streets work here, that there are services here, but this is not true for all of Cape Town. The DA has been in power for 15 years. What are you going to do to make more equity across the city?
The bottom line is this. As the latest reports have shown, to be a poor person in Cape Town is to have a far better level of basic services than in any other part of South Africa. There's been a huge demographic shift towards the Western Cape in the last 15 years, as everybody knows. And so to be poor in Cape Town is to get a much better level of service than if you are poor anywhere else in South Africa.
Just going to show you quickly, the battle lines are really drawn here in Mitchell's Plain this afternoon. Zaid's just going to show you the battle between blue and orange here this afternoon. The orange being the Good Party, led by the former mayor of Cape Town, Patricia election through campaigning in these wards here in Mitchell's Plain. So really the battle lines are drawn here. This is an overwhelming DA-led support area, but they're leaving nothing to chance, as you can see, and campaigning with their mayoral candidate as well as current mayor Dan Plato, who's just walked past me. Back to you, Tilas.
Lindsay, it's a bit noisy where you are. I've been battling to hear you, but the visuals speak for themselves. That contestation between members of the Democratic Alliance and members of the Good Party, led by Patricia de Lille, and there's a history and context to it all, how Patricia de Lille ended up leaving the DA, having been its mayor of Cape Town. So interesting to see that. Hopefully there's no interference, of course, in as far as the right of all the parties to campaign, as long as it's a festival of ideas and they're there together because they want to be there together and no one is interfering with the other. I think we would be okay with that in terms of the rules, but if there's interference, of course, then that's a completely different conversation there with Lindsay Dentlinger out in Cape Town.